We're going to take you to the NBA, bring you a recap from the Raptors visiting the Bucks tonight. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, in the house, supporting the Bucks. Let's go to the first. Giannis Antetokounmpo finds Thon Maker. That's a poster slam.
Thon Maker starting at center. Incredible rookie.
Look at that.
South Sudan to Australia, well coached.
Second quarter, Khris Middleton. Turnaround jumper. He sinks it. Later in the quarter, Middleton finds Greg Monroe. Monroe with the bucket. Bucks up 27 at the half here. Third quarter, Norman Powell gets absolutely rejected by Giannis. The Bucks win big over the Raptors, 104-77. They now lead the series 2-1. Scott, when you have a win this big, how much momentum do you carry into the next game and confidence do you carry into the next game?
I think they have an edge that Toronto didn't come out with here. DeMar DeRozan didn't have a basket. So, you said at halftime they had a 27-point lead. There was another 25-point lead in a separate game on Thursday evening, and that team lost when the Pacers blew that lead to the Cavaliers. They won this game by 27. So that's a young team, albeit at home, and now they get Game 4, a chance to then send it back to Canada up 3-1. They have outplayed Toronto, in my opinion, in all three games. They showed their youth in the last 4 minutes of Game 2, and then Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan hit big shot after big shot in the closing minutes. It's why Toronto prevailed in Game 2. Otherwise, this is smelling like Sweep City. This series is not over. 7 games might be the end of this book. I do think that Thon Maker, and I don't know if Greg Monroe is part of their future, but Antetokounmpo, Khris Middleton, and Thon Maker, and then Jabari Parker coming back after his injury. What an incredible nucleus. And people thought there was some shady dealings with how and why Jason Kidd was trying to get himself out of Brooklyn. Yeah, this is why. Now he's got everything in place. The Eastern Conference is a little thinned out. I like the Bucks here. Listen, a lot of people like the Wizards to potentially win the Eastern Conference if the Cavaliers kind of revert to March play. But we got a lot of teams that I think, if they have moxie, which Milwaukee's been showing, they could push Cleveland to the brink. Milwaukee's one of them, and I think Washington's another.
I think going into the playoffs, people underestimated the Bucks. Are you surprised to see them be so successful?
Antoine Walker does not think they can win this series. He does not think, not just because they don't have home court advantage, that the inexperience down the stretch, if you have tight games, and there's likely going to be multiple tight games from here on out in the series in games 4 through however many more, the advantage, as we saw in Game 2, will go to Toronto. Both of these games that Milwaukee's prevailed, the last minute or two didn't matter. This one, the last 6 minutes didn't. But you could just see it on DeRozan's face. They were demoralized. You can't lose 2 games on the road, in my opinion, in a row. So I think it's a must-win Game 4 for Toronto.